Show you how to bring Photoshop and Illustrator graphics into After Effects to animate. All right. So I have an image of a clock I'm going to bring into Photoshop. And there you go. Photoshop, open. And where is this clock? Did I not save it on my desktop? T-electric. Okay. I don't see T-electric anywhere. There it is. All right, so I'm going to open up this image. All right, so in Photoshop, here I am. I'm going to unlock the layer. And immediately I'm going to start to remove the white background. So in this case, I'm going to get my magic wand tool, select the white, and then press delete. Okay, that transparency shows that. Now, what I'm going to do here is maybe crop out the hands. Okay, so what I'll do is actually I'll just do the second because I'll have it like ticking in my animation, right? In this case, actually I can cheat as well. I can use my magic wand tool, select the red only. Let's add to it this red. Okay, and that. And it's done a decent job. Now, if you want more precision, I'm going to press Command D, get rid of that mask. I would use my pen tool and crop around. So I click here. And just going to finish it up. Right click. Now, you should be familiar with this. Now I messed up. I could go in and clean things up with my direct selection tool, where I can select the anchor points. Or if I click on the convert tool, I can click on a specific point and adjust the vector path. It's no different really in Illustrator, it's the same thing. Okay, and then I'll go here. Oops, Command Z, select only one specific point, this one right here. Direct selection, sorry. Okay, anyways, you can adjust this when you do your object. So I'm going to press, right click with my pen tool or any of these tools. If you go somewhere else, you won't have the option of right clicking. Say, for example, if I have this tool on, it won't give me that option. So select one of these vector tools like the pen tool. Right click, make a selection based on that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press Command X. And the reason why is because I want this out. I'm cutting it. And I'm going to do Command V and paste it. Oops. Now, Command V, my mistake. I want to paste it back in place. So I'm going to go Edit, Paste Special, and Paste in Place, which is Command Shift V. So it's right above where it was. Now I'm going to just hide it for a sec. And now what I got to do is, because it's a photographic image, I'm going to mask this area up. So I'm going to just use my clone stamp tool. This is why I prefer doing an Illustrator, because you can just recreate it from scratch and not deal with the background issues. So I'm going to hold Alt with my selection tool. Ooh, boy, oh boy, nice and big. Okay, so keep the brush size relative to the area I needed to clean up. So I'm holding Alt on the area that I want next to it, and I'm actually just drawing on these pixels. Okay. So it's taking, see a little plus sign, guys? That's taking the pixels from there and pasting it onto that, which you guys probably already know. Zoom in, maybe reduce my brush size. I'm using the brackets next to the letter P. Holding Alt. Okay. Actually, I can cheat a bit too. Go over here. Right? And if you wanted to, you could change your brush up so it's a little bit um, more blunted. Oh, that's kind of cool. Anyways, you get the idea. Not to bore you guys. Oh, what's this? Go back to my clone stamp tool. Anyways, let's, for the sake of time, guys, imagine that I cleaned that up, right? So I have a file here with a layered Photoshop file. So I have a base and just the needle itself. So I'll call this second. So I'll save this Photoshop file. I'll just leave this. I'll call this clock. Okay. Now if I go to After Effects, I'll bring in and let's make a new comp here. Actually, I'll bring it into say comp 1. And I'm going to import this into my folder actually. So import file, and on my desktop, let me just go back to my Photoshop. Did I save it? Desktop clock. Okay. After Effects. There it is. And import it as composition. I believe that's what I do. All right. Edit layer styles. Yes, do not merge them or else you just kind of defeated the whole purpose. All right, so leave them as editable layer styles. Press OK. So now it actually brings it in as its own clock, and then the clock layers are there as well. So if I double click clock, I have the two layers separated. So if I wanted to animate this second hand, okay, I'll just do a basic transformation, and I'll do a rotation on it. So funny enough, the actual circle of the is in the center of it, so it works out pretty good. So it's right there. Maybe a few seconds, 1 second later, I grab my transform tool. Okay, so it actually animates. You guys see that? I go 2 seconds. I'll just leave it there, and I'll just, as long as my timeline's moved, if I start playing with the rotation, so 2 seconds. Actually, this is going to be true to real life, because if it's 3 seconds in real life, so 90 degrees, roughly. So that's my animation. So you can animate your own stopwatch. Now, say you wanted time goes faster. Well, you know what? Let's pretend time does go faster, and let's grab all these 3 points, and let's move them in more. Grab these 2 points. Oops. So now my seconds are going to go really fast. Yeah. All right. Here's a little trick I'm going to do. I'll do one full rotation, and then it's already its own its own composition. I can bring it in, and then copy and paste it multiple times, and I'll just loop and loop. Right? Just be clever. You save some time here. So I would go through the intricacies of rotating this. So you guys see that? And then because it's its own comp, you can bring it in and just copy and paste the comp multiple times, and I'll just loop and loop and loop. Okay. Now, not to bore you guys, because essentially in Illustrator it's the same idea. If I make a new comp, or I bring in an image, or I start a new image, note in Illustrator you could make your own film and video. HD, 1920, 72 dpi, awesome. So it's the comp as an After Effects file. So if you want to make your graphics, so you want to make your own clock. All right, so there's a circle here, and you made your own arm. Just make them in different layers. After Effects will bring all the layers in, and then you can animate based on layer. The important thing is layers. Okay? Bring that Illustrator file the same way I just did the Photoshop file, and it'll work the same way, and animate it the same way. Is that cool? Questions on that? Yeah, Xavier? That's that's it. So the question was asked is just do you simply just make it layers and bring it in? That's it. So again, if I were here just to show you guys, if I make a oops on this layer, I'll make another shape and I'll do a different color so you can see the okay. All right. And if I save this file under my desktop, I'm going to call this whatever because essentially that's what it is. All right. And let's go through the process. Let's go to After Effects. Let's import it. So file import or double click or Command I believe. Is that a Command I for file? I'll go to my desktop, whatever. Do you want them as merge layers? No. So composition, layer size, which is perfect. And whatever's there, double click whatever, there it is. But because they're separate layers, I can do basic animation stuff to it, like, say, position in this case. Stars over there, move it over, stars over there. Okay? So you bring those, and also you can technically, I think, copy and paste vector files of shapes into After Effects. Okay? So this is your comp. Let's go to my main comp here, and let's just make a disgusting composition here. So if I got whatever and brought that over here, I could. You can actually have the graphics overlapping. Okay. But ideally you just bring your comps and here's my clock comp. I can actually put that over top as well. Times 5 by. It's kind of cool, huh? And remember, you can always shrink the composition as well. So in here, I can scale it and move the position. So if maybe I want it right here, it'll just animate that in the background. Cool? All right. That's our video tutorial. That's way too long. Yeah, people are not going to watch that.